For the rolling pin, I'm actually going to add an extra bolster there so that in my warrior stance, I can get my hips forward from my back knee. And then I'm just going to add in a little blanket there to give a small amount of support to the thoracic spine, because again, our priority is to support the lumbar spine. If you need to take your legs out at all, go ahead and do that, okay? Sometimes being seated in a cross-legged position for a long period of time is just too much. So for our rolling pin, we're going to tilt the head towards our warrior leg. Reason we do that is because if someone falls asleep, your leg is here to catch them. And when you move the head in that direction, they will fall that way because the weight of the head will lean them in that direction. That also gives us a nice open space here for the trapezius and the levator scapulae. And I'm going to be using my forearm in here to get a nice little bit of pressure. Now, in terms of my forearm position, I want to try and be close to, but not on the spine of the scapula. So take note of where it is. Again, it's the most bony prominence on the scapula. And we're going to start superior to it with a slight posterior angle of the forearm. You'll notice that I'm not coming in flat. I've got a slight posterior tilt. That gets me a little closer to the insertion of the levator scapulae, which is really what we want to spend a good amount of time going for here. I've got my wrist at rest, and I'm just starting to let my arm get a bit heavy. A little bit of weight, by the way, here goes quite a long way. So it might feel like you're doing nothing on the giving end, and on the receiving end it might feel like lots of some things. Okay. Notice I haven't moved my palm yet. I've started with my palm face down, or I've started in pronation of the forearm. And I wait until I feel some degree of release going on in the trapezius, until I feel like the tissues and the nervous system are allowing me to start this roll. And it's going to be the slowest rolling pin you've probably ever seen, but that's the pace that we want to work at. So I'm just really gradually turning my palm to face up.
My eyes are so too relaxing to watch.
And what that's going to do is it's going to really slowly roll my ulnar border, the border of the forearm here, laterally along the fibers of the trapezius. And then I get to the end of my movement, and then I'm still going to pause there for an extra moment because I feel like there's a nice little bit of something there. How are we doing on pressure?
Good.
Any changes?
Lighter or the same.
Lighter or the same, okay.
And a tender little thing.
You're a delicate little flower just like me.
There you go.
And then we release that touch, and then we go again. Come back and begin. You've got space all the way up to the acromioclavicular joint. So all the way laterally until the AC joint, if you can fit your forearm in there.
Did you teach it the what joint?
So the AC joint all the way out here,
Say the whole word.
acromioclavicular joint. It's all the way out here.
You can go all the way out there?
You can go all the way up to it. Don't get to it, but come up to it. Because there's musculature coming all the way up to that. The trick will be
Are
just
you all the way up to it?
not yet.
I think so.
Just until you can fit your forearm. So then what I would do is I would start a little bit more laterally than my first touch, and then I would just incrementally work my way out there. You'll also start to feel more bony contact when you've run out of space. So when you start to feel like there's less and less space, it's a little bit bony out there, That's where you would pause, come back to the middle and start again. We'll do one more. When you go through it, I'm going to get you to be here for another few touches. We start in close to the neck so that we can get those insertion fibers on the levator scapulae, settle in, and then when the tissue starts to give you a little bit of space, then begin to roll. For now, I'm going to sweep